it's Jasmine. So today I'm starting off with a bare face because you guys are gonna get ready with me with this whole full face of Makeup Revolution, and I am so excited to bring you guys this video because one, you guys have been asking about my opinions on certain things, and two, you guys just want this video in general. So I hope you guys really enjoy. I only had to pick up a few things from Ulta that I already didn't have in my collection. So with that being said, I have a full face. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start with primer. This is the Pro Base Blur Primer, their illumination base. This one is sadly discontinued, and I actually found my backups on Mercari. A seller was selling them, and I was so excited because I even contacted Makeup Revolution. I said, hey, this better not be discontinued because this is my favorite primer, and unfortunately it's discontinued. I don't know if they're gonna repackage it or anything like that, but this one is definitely the best one. And if you have it, or if you can find somebody who's selling it, then I definitely recommend buying it and trying it for yourself because it really does blur the pores and it makes the foundation sit on the skin so beautifully. The main reason why I wanted to do this video in general was because a lot of you guys requested me to do a review on the Conceal and Define foundation. Now they do have foundation sticks, but I don't like foundation sticks in general. That's just not my preference. So I decided to get the shade F8.5. Now the 0.5 spectrum is online only, so those are the colors that have a yellow or golden undertone, which really sucked. So not only did I get this shade that's new, but I also got a new shade for their concealer, which is C6.5. The last shade that I had in this concealer was C7, and I will talk more about the concealer when I get into that portion. But I tested this out and it's too light for me, so bear with me because it was really hard to find my shade, and I felt like this one was the closest to my shade that I could find. It is a little light, so I'm gonna look really stark and pale, but you know what? It's fine. I do like the fact that it is a buildable foundation, but I feel like when you do build it up, and if you don't already have like a full face painted of this foundation, it can get a little patchy. Like if you try and go over patches, it will not stick to each other. You know, it doesn't build up as smoothly as other foundations do. So I wish that one, it didn't dry down so quick, because if it was still kind of wet, then it would be easier to blend. But because it does dry down pretty quick, I do have to make sure that I have a whole face painted before I blend it out with a sponge, and I look literally crazy. I look like a psychopath. Oh, you know, the good thing is though, at Ulta, Makeup Revolution always goes on sale. Whether you get a free gift with purchase, buy one get one free, buy one get one half off, no matter what the circumstance is, Makeup Revolution is almost always on sale. So I don't feel too bad that I picked the wrong shade and that it dries down too quick, you know. It's time for concealer. And you're probably like, Jasmine, you look like you're wearing a full face of concealer. And I agree with you 100%. This isn't my best look, but we're gonna go in with more concealer. And I have to say that this is not a Shape Tape dupe. And I feel like you can run through this concealer pretty quickly. I think that this is the fastest concealer I've ever gone through, with even taking off that little plastic rim and even scraping the inside with a brush. I went through this concealer within 2 months. And you know, I feel like that is a pretty short amount of time for a concealer to be lasting. So if you're into using up your products real quick, then I probably recommend it. I don't think it's like the best concealer out there, but for a drugstore price, like, you know, it's like $6, I think that it's pretty good. I think it gives me what I need. Not too much coverage though. Definitely not a Shape Tape dupe like I said, but I feel like it conceals enough for me. And I should probably note that this concealer will crease. So I'm gonna take the Luxury Baking Powder in the shade Lace, and I am going to set this in with a brush. I know this is something that you guys normally don't see me do, but I've been doing it quite often, and what I will do is I will literally like just sweep it under my eyes, and I'll take another brush to sweep it away. And I feel like this is the best way to really prevent caking. I have two brow products. One I bought specifically for the video, and then two I actually got it as a free gift with one of my purchases off Mercari. Like the seller just gave it to me. These are actually the Duo Brow Definer, which is this one. This one is the one that is the closest to the ABH Brow Definer. Go figure for the name, right? This one's in the shade Dark Brown, which is typically the color that I am in a lot of my brow products. And then this is the one that I bought, which is the Brow Revolution. This is their Fiber Technology Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brunette. And I'm assuming that this one is going to be very similar to that Wonder Brow. And I am not going to be surprised if it is. Yeah. Because I feel like this is kind of all the rage right now, having that long-lasting eyebrow. But I'm actually going to go in first with this product right here. And I have used it before. It's pretty waxy. And although it is waxy, and although that's not my preferred texture, it does have a lot of pigmentation, and I don't feel like it slips around too much. Because upon application it is waxy, but I do feel like it does dry down and it starts to set. I do love anything with that teardrop shape for my eyebrows because it fills in my eyebrows so quickly. So to emulate those fake brow hairs, I'm gonna do the brow gel as opposed to, you know, my brow powder that I always do. So what I did was I put a little bit on the back of my hand here. I'm gonna take my eyebrow brush, which is the Sigma E65, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna simply just draw those hair strokes into the eyebrow and just follow it through. I think my brows look real good today. They may be a little dark, but you know what? I like it. I really do. So what I'm gonna do now, since, you know what, I was gonna go into bronzer, but I think I'm gonna skip that until the end so I could do everything together. I'm gonna go into my eyeshadow. The only Make It Revolution eyeshadow that has stayed in my collection is the Revolution and Emily the Wands, because I've gone through a lot of their palettes, and yes, some are great quality, but I've just never been, I guess, so in love with the color schemes, because I've tried their iconic palettes, I've tried their chocolate bar palettes, and then I've tried their Reloaded palettes, and those all have a cool color scheme, but I really don't like the formula of the Reloaded palette. I did, and then I realized I didn't. And then as far as like the chocolate and then the iconic ones go, I don't really like the color scheme, but this one I really do, and I do get a lot of use out of. So this is what the palette looks like. I'll give you an up close shot. I knew last night I wanted to film this video, so I thought of a look that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do something kind of like mint chocolate. Oh, I think that would be so cute. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smooth out the concealer on my eyes, and I am just going to prep that for the eyeshadow. That's already gonna be my base. I don't need an eye base. I don't think eye primers do anything, in my opinion. You know, they probably do, but I've never came across one that was super revolutionary. I'm starting off with a white shade in the palette called the Cream, and I'm just going to simply just put that on my eyes to set that concealer in place. I'm starting off with the Transition. This one is the shade Hobby, and I'm taking this on my Sigma E40, my favorite blending brush. And I'm just going to really buff this in, because this is going to be the base. This is like the base of the chocolate. I'm gonna give this a little bit of warmth with the shade Midwest, and I am going to apply that a little lower than Hobby because I want Hobby to still be relevant to the look, but I just want to warm up a little bit more near my actual eyeball. Towards this outer corner area, we're taking Dues Paid, and this is another warm tone brown, but this one has a little bit of an orangey zest. It has a little orange to it, and I'm just going to apply this right in my direct crease, and I'm also bringing that out into a cat wing. Let's go ahead and blend that all together again with that Sigma E40 brush, and I have no additional product. I'm just going to be using this for the blend. Let's go ahead and add that mint green. So I'm going to start off with the shade Grateful because there's two shimmery greens in here, and Grateful is going to go right in the inner third of my eye. That's where I want to start it, and I'm just going to apply that as so. Just a little cute pop. And then towards the center, there's another green called Side Hustle. And I think I want to just blend that in there towards that outer corner area that I'm gonna deepen up just a little later. And I'm just gonna continue to pat everything in so it looks very soft. I don't want this look to be harsh at all. I want it to be very smoky and very blended. I'm just taking Grateful, and what I did was I actually just did a whole wash over everything just so it could look a little bit brighter, and I think that is pretty good. And now I want to deepen up this outer corner just a little bit more. So there is a darker brown in here called Apartment, and I'm just gonna take that and blend it right at this outer corner area. And what I'm doing is I'm first patting it in before I blend it out because I want a lot of concentration just in that area. I'm gonna go ahead and add my wing with the Renaissance Flick eyeliner, and I just wanna see where this look is going, so that's why I'm gonna do the eyeliner first. If I need to blend, then obviously I will, but I just wanted to see where this look was actually going. I'm gonna ignore the fact that these are two completely different wings, so I'm gonna move on to mascara. This one is another item that I had to buy for the video. It's literally called the mascara, so it must be good. It must be the one. And I think that this is their only mascara in their line. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only one that I saw on the Ulta website. This is a huge wand. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that Stila mascara, the one that's in that gold tube. This one dispenses off a lot of product, a little chunky. It made my eyelashes perk up without me having to curl it. And even though my eyeliner is really thick, I could still see my eyelashes peeking through, which is really, really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and be right back. I'm gonna go apply my fake lashes because they don't have fake lashes at the moment. Not that I'm aware of, because I didn't see any at Ulta. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my lashes, and I'll be right back. So this is what it looks like with the lashes on. I don't know what lashes these are. I really don't, because these are stacked lashes, so I'm sorry. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna take Hobby and run that all along my lower lash line. I'm not gonna make my lower lash line too dramatic today, partly because I'm literally going to school, so I don't want to be overly dramatic for no reason. I mean, I'm already playing with green. I feel like that's too dramatic for school already. You know, not a lot of people play around with their makeup at school. And pretty much what I'm doing is I mixed Midwest, Dues Paid, and Apartment all together. And this is gonna be right near my lash line, right where my eyelashes grow. That's where these colors are going to be applied, and that should give me enough definition. As you can see, definition, soft, definition, soft. I'm gonna be very careful with the mascara application on the bottom because I got really small eyes, and this wand is ginormous, but it's making those lower lashes look so good. Oh. For my inner corner, I'm mixing Grateful and Oh Heavens together because I want it to be a very light green. As long as there's some type of brightness there, that's all I can really ask for. Now let's finally bronze the face. I'm sure one of you guys is like, Jasmine, I hate this. So for bronzer, I'm taking the All About Bronzed palette, and I'm gonna work with the lighter shades first because these ones are pretty pigmented. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that warmth back into my skin, especially on my forehead. My forehead just looks real stark. You could definitely tell when a foundation is too light, especially on my forehead, because my forehead's darker than the rest of my face. So you could definitely tell when something is just not my color. I'm taking this smaller brush by Sigma, their F04, and I'm gonna take a darker shade, probably these two, and I'm gonna use that to really carve out my cheeks and really define the other areas of my face, because I really want a sculpted look today, partly because I need the most color on my face, and I feel like it would complement this look because I really wanted this to be mint chocolate. So I want my face to really look chocolatey. To blend this bronzer into my skin, I'm gonna use a little bit of blush from the Golden Sugar 2 Rose Gold palette. You guys have heard me talk a lot about this for the past maybe year and a half. So I'm just gonna take all of those rosy tones and I'm gonna mix it in with just a little bit of bronzer so that it looks a little bit more natural. And I'm just gonna tap it on my skin like this, and I feel like that is the best blush application that I can get out of a shimmery blush. Just mix it in with a little bit of bronzer so it's not too sheeny and it doesn't emphasize too much texture. Then we're gonna grab this cream shade right here, which is one of my favorite highlighting shades in general, and I'm gonna apply that onto my cheeks. It is so good, so blending. I do have a big dent in it. I'm not surprised if I hit pan on it anytime soon because I've been using it pretty frequently. I'm so glad this look is starting to come together little by little. And finally, I think the only product I have left is lips. I totally forgot about setting spray, partly because I have a lot of setting sprays in my collection that I need to use up, and I think setting spray was the last thing that I needed. So I have this Awakened lipstick. I don't know what is this. Oh, it's the Renaissance lipstick in the shade Awakened, yes. So this one is a rosy nude, and I wanted to do something a little bit different because typically when I do nudes, I go for like a beige undertone nude, and this one is rosy. And that completes the look, you guys. I hope you guys all enjoy. There's definitely room for improvement on the foundation shades for sure. But other than that, I am through and through just really impressed with everything by Makeup Revolution. Obviously, things are hit and miss with every single brand, but I did use a lot of the products that I do trust. So I hope you guys all enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy this little pop of color look that I have going on, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.